So this lesson will be dedicated to magnific, what it does, why magnific, and what settings you need to use for images here. So to start with, magnific is a really good upscaler because it does things that many upscalers don't do. And even though it's not free, and I try to get rid of it and to find, something that would help me to lower my cost, I still couldn't find. So I use this one. My current plan is $39 per month. It gives me 2,500 tokens per month. And it's pretty much good for me, for my workflow. And I always, I always have tokens when I need it, so it's very important because you don't need to think about it all the time. So basically, magnific has many things in this program, but I only use magnific upscaler. It has relight, style transfer, but I don't really use it, like never. I basically use magnific only for one purpose, just to do more realistic texture, more realistic images. I tried Topaz, I tried Enhancer AI, and I didn't love the results just because they still look plastic. And for example, Enhancer AI, if we speak about aesthetic models, they should be very beautiful, like more beautiful than an average human being, than upscaling it with the, with like wrinkles and stuff doesn't help, if that makes sense. So sometimes they upscale too much, sometimes they upscale not upscaling at all, like still look plastic. So magnific does it magic, but if there are some upscaling programs, apps that I will discover, I will definitely update in this course and we'll let you know, okay? So for this moment, at this moment, we use magnific for upscaling. So what it does, you can have creative and precision. Precision is the latest tool that allows you to not change anything. So here, when we upscale the images, it slightly changes details in a good way. But if you want precision, for example, I sometimes created the AI versions of myself with Higgsfield, for example. I did this precision, but I can't say that it worked super well because it just added some sharpness. Overall, the picture still looked AI-ish. So this, if we use normal magnific upscaler in creative mode, like I use it all the time, it will distort your features. Here we upscale models that we have no idea how they would look in real life because they're not real people, but with real people it will distort. It won't be U11 by million%. So with magnific, let me show you what it does more precisely. So this is before, and this is after. Before and after. So she was very blurry in her eyes, and she became more, also her body texture changed. Let me show you on this example once again. So before, very plastic. After, like, it changed her eyes, it changed her lips, it made them look like a real lip gloss, like a real lips. Yet, as I may notice, it still has this dull perfection. So if we want to get rid of it, we just need to change the settings. I need to emphasize it. It's not that magnific doesn't upscale to the super realistic mode. No, the main thing is in the settings itself. So if we do the settings to look super realistic, then they won't look like models that are gorgeously beautiful, because they will still look like, with pores and wrinkles. We don't want that for our videos. So here, once again, before, after, before, and after. It does this magic. Magnific also changes the hair, if you may notice. It's one of my favorite upscalers. Let me see once again. So see here, it changed very much. Let's say in the previous examples, it wasn't seen this much, but in this one, look. It changed her like completely, in my opinion. And she looked like a real person. Real, yet perfect. That's a very important thing to know. So let me show you in the very close portrait. It doesn't change too much, but that's good because we already like how they look like, how perfect they are. And this one is a very beautiful one. Let me show you. Very plastic, more real. So the settings that I use for models, because the settings may be different for any picture, we use creative. We don't use any prompt. I never use prompts in Magnific, and I choose portraits soft because once again, if we do portraits hard, it will do the skin texture, some imperfections. We don't need it. So I always do soft. Creativity I put at 1 and HDR I put at 1. See, it even automatically recognizes my preset face. You also can save it as your preset to not do this all the time. So it's pretty much it for people. It doesn't overdo the upscaling because once again we don't need let even try reuse original image. Let's try. Okay, so let's try to do portrait hard and just change the HDR, for example. And just do the comparison so we could see it quickly. And do this one. So I will just show you how it's different from each other, even though the settings are not that different. I mean, we didn't do some critical numbers to change, yet it always works pretty much different. So here I upscaled my lovely one with Grok, and we will talk about it later because you will see that in video she doesn't have, well, you cannot see her teeth. We'll also talk about this in this module. It's very important. It's a Photoshop lesson because post editing is very important. Here, as you can see, it also did some imperfections. Like you could see her, you could see her, let's see, tooth, right? And we don't want that. Also before, absolutely plastic, and after. And hair its skin is incredible. Let's see what we have. Okay, so here is the one that I do, like my usual routine, before and after, before and after. And here is the routine with another setting. See, I think it's pretty clear. Maybe some people love these results. I don't know, it's up to you guys, but in my opinion, it looks weird. And I prefer this one. It still looks pretty AI. AI is just because she's perfect, obviously, but still more realistic than this one. Her eyes are very detailed, her lips became more detailed, and of course it changes everything. Look, it changed her wings before and after, her clothes before and after. The one The best thing about magnific that it doesn't change the details. I couldn't find it anywhere else. It doesn't change the details. It only changes, only upscales the existing things on your images. It's very, very important. So once again, over upscaling is bad. Just look what happened to her hair. It looks like, I don't know, like fur, something very weird. And look here, it looks pretty much natural. So magnific is really a thing that you should have for your images. Let me show you the grid view, what I've scaled, and show you non-people. Once again, let's do the commercial thing that I did for a company. So let me show you before, blurry, after, before and after. Very good results. So the settings that I use for this one is films and photography and creativity and HDR on 1. As I use for models, we just choose the optimized for. So for nature, if it doesn't have any people in it, just make sure that if it has people in it, and especially women, beautiful, gorgeous women, we cannot use any other preset rather than portrait soft. Otherwise, it will ruin their face completely like it did with the blonde model that we just saw. So if it includes woman or, you know, any other character, like, I don't know, like children or man, or just non-models, it will still distort their features very much if we use any other preset rather than portrait soft. Why not portraits hard? I already explained. So for such cinematic stuff, I always use film and photography. For nature, once again, without any people in it, I use nature and landscapes. Sometimes I use 3D renders, but it's up to you. Once again, you can experiment. Everything is about experimenting, as we talked before. So that's pretty much it. You will learn magnific as you go. It's literally everything that I do. I only do this preset with models and do films and photography for upscaling some. Let me also show you once again how I upscaled architecture to be completely fair, and how I upscaled the aesthetic reels. Once again, films and photography, but here I needed, look closer, before and after. See how sharp it was? Like, magnific is incredible. So here I did more HDR because no people, no faces in it. I just really wanted it to be as sharp as possible. So I added HDR and creativity to 2 just because it had some weird elements in it. And let's look at another example with architecture. Just really wanted to show you this. So once again, films and photography, just added HDR just because I needed the exact same bed, and if we added creativity, it would change the bed a little bit, and we don't want this because the bed is 1:1. Before, after, very good result. Before and after. I really love how it works. And let me show you what it does to crystal things, or to glass things, for example. Once again, films and photography, creativity 2 and 2. You need to experiment with this again. So before and after became so much sharper. Before and after. A very good result. I really love how it works. So magnific is an essential step. I use it all the time. It's a non-skippable part of the process. So